What's up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of Ask Alex, where this is the show where I answer all your questions right here on this show pertaining to movie news and all the different things that are going on in Hollywood. But today, I have a special interview that I've been wanting to do for the last couple of weeks. I interviewed one of his predecessors, Mr. Troy Skinner, who's a really dope individual, and I wanted to interview the original Static Shock in live action, Mr. James Black. How are you doing, James?
Oh, I'm doing excellent, my brother. Doing excellent. I'm literally just getting home from an audition, man. So I'm good to be finally doing this interview with you, man. I saw you interview with Choice. I loved it. And it's good to finally meet you, brother. Really good to finally meet you.
Man, I'm so glad. I'm glad you said that because it's really cool to meet you, man. And it's funny. I've been following Choice for so long, and I was like, yo, I want to meet James because he seems like a really cool person. And yo, I didn't even notice until like maybe about a year or so ago. You are a martial artist, and you're
Oh
an
yeah.
actor. So I was just like, how did you get started in all this? Like, where did this all begin for you?
Oh man, martial arts for me started when I was 11. So years ago.
Hmm.
um my first martial arts master was she's grandmaster now, but back then it was Master Linda Denley, from Houston, Texas, where I'm originally from. And she actually has a background in film. She did stunts for a while. She worked on Jackie Chan and Chuck Norris movies. So if I had to say where it started, I would have to say back then, as far as martial arts is concerned. Studied Tang Soo Do under her, and did that for several years. And then after graduating high school, I got into doing capoeira, the Brazilian martial arts. I was inspired, of course, by Eddie from Tekken. Everyone has played Tekken.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so in 2014, I was living in Stockton, California at the time, and I found out that I actually had a cousin who was in LA. My cousin Brandon Moten. He's actually in the Black Lightning fan film.
Oh
He has
wow.
on the all white. He has the braids with the glasses. Real pretty looking dude.
Oh, okay, okay.
And so yeah, so I found out I had a cousin that lives in LA that's acting, and that kind of just inspired me to try it out, see what it's about. It was kind of always a secret passion for me. I felt like it was something that was not reachable until I actually came out here and saw, oh, okay, I can do this.
Mhm.
So that's pretty much how that started. I called him up and was like, hey man, I want to come check out LA, and he was like, come on down, and he hooked me up with a fresh start, man. And that's how I met Choice. I came to his acting class, and the ball just started rolling from there.
Yo, that is amazing, man. And Choice, when I did an interview with Choice, as you guys were doing the Black Lightning film, he said that you were the one who did 90% of the special effects. And someone
Yeah,
who's just like, I mean, I know how to do a little bit of special effects. I'm not like
yeah.
into it, but I have to say what you guys did in that film was just mind blowing. Like I was like, this is a fan
It
film. Like,
was
why isn't this like a movie?
it
like
was tough.
and I was just and I just wanted to I always wanted to ask you like
Uh-huh.
how did you do that? Like how like what program did
Man.
you use? How did you get into it? Like how was it?
Yo, dude, that the special effects, oh my god. It sapped so much of my energy, bro. It was an undertaking. Me and Troy, so back in 2015, we were working on his second feature film called Keep the Faith.
Mhm,
And at that point in time, I had a little bit of experience in graphic design and doing
mhm,
like logos, movie posters, stuff like that. But
mhm,
I've worked a lot with like Photoshop and stuff
mhm,
like that.
mhm,
So he said that he needed a visual effects artist,
mhm,
which that was totally new to me. I had no idea how to do that stuff, but for some reason, Choice felt like I was the guy. So
mhm, mhm.
I told him no at first, and then one thing that he never asked you for something twice, but he eventually asked me for something twice. He came at me again, and I was like, you know what? Okay, fine, whatever. I'll give it a try. So
Mhm,
that's when I first got introduced to visual effects work on that film. I was
mhm,
working on green screen, removing stuff, tracking stuff like that. And I got a little bit of an introduction to it. I was just literally going on YouTube, just watching tutorials, learning different things. And we're still working on the final product of that film. But when we got into production for Black Lightning, I had a pretty solid knowledge on how to do certain things. And so we get started on Black Lightning. We start the fight choreography. We learn the choreo. We learn the blocking. We learn everything. And then when we get to set, we just go in. So I'm credited as the visual effects supervisor. But when we got into post and we saw everything, we saw the dailies, we saw the cut, I had no idea how much I missed. So with visual effects, it was a big learning process. It was just learning from mistake after mistake. And, oh my God, this looks terrible. How can we fix this? Okay, there's a mistake here. I got to figure out how to cover this up. It was just a big learning process, man. Just looking at a bunch of tutorials. I spent so many hours just looking at tutorial after tutorial, watching Andrew Kramer from Video Copilot, Film Riot, some bored British kid who had nothing to do except make a tutorial. Like it was literally like that. I was just soaking up everything from everyone, and then I would just try it out. And then Chase Baker, who plays the mayor, he was like my partner in crime on the visual effects process. We the first scene that we did was actually Static versus Holocaust. The electricity and the fire. And
oh man, that was amazing.
Yeah, so that was our first project. That was our first undertaking, was doing that one. We me and Chase worked on the fire. I worked on the electricity. And then after about 2 months, we had an actual pass, and we were like, "This is good. This is dope." And then about maybe 3 months later passed, and I look back on them like, this is shit. We gotta redo this. So I went back and just kind of redid everything. And then Chase ended up getting onto another project. And so then me and Choice started handling all the rest of the VFX. And I got to say, man, I couldn't have done it without that brother. Like to already have co-written it with me, directed it, starred in it, choreographed the fights, edited. He wore so many different hats. And then to put on the VFX hat along with me, like that just, I owe a lot to him. So, but we got it done. We were still doing a lot of tutorials. Like, it's just tutorials throughout the whole process. Okay, how do I do this? Okay, I got past this. How do I do that? So it was crazy like that, man. But we got it done. It took a lot. It took a lot of my energy. Took a lot of our energy, our money, and he would go online and find different VFX assets, send it to me. I would do it up, send it to him, make sure it's right, and then he would be like, "You got to change that." So I changed this, and then he would send me something, and I wouldn't say anything. I would just take it. If I saw something that needs to be added, I would just mess with it.
Right.
That was just the process, man. Just us three, just doing it. You go to a movie and you look at the credits and you see like the hundreds and hundreds of people that worked on the VFX, and it's like, well, damn, it's just three of us.
Right. Yo, like my favorite scene, and I've always wanted to tell you this. My favorite scene when you were fighting Holocaust, you walk up to him and you're like, "Yo, Burning Man, I haven't seen you in a while." And I was like, "Yo," I was like, "This is Virgil. Like this is Virgil." And then like you start to power up and you pull your hands like this, and electricity is flowing. I was like, "Oh snap!" Like, yo, I lost it. I was like, "Yo," like, and it's funny. I said, I asked him during the interview. I said, "Did you ever think about pitching what you guys did to like the CW or Warner Brothers or something of that nature?" Because I've always said for a long time that even before Black Panther, like, we needed to have Black superheroes. And I thought what Choice did as Black Lightning and you as Static, and I even told him through the interview, I said, "Listen, I thought that this was the actual Black Lightning show." And like he was actually Black Lightning and you were Static. And I was like, this is This is amazing. So, and I wanted to ask you, like, because he told me you guys did cons and stuff. Were you ever like, did you ever watch the show as Static, and did you just like fall in love with the character as you were portraying that particular
Actually,
role?
Actually, no, I didn't actually watch the show like that. I watched like a few episodes. Man, I was into Dragon Ball. That's all I cared
Yeah.
about. I was a Dragon, like you'll see it in the fight when we do like the blast and like I'm shooting electricity. There's a few little Dragon Ball moments in there.
Mm-hmm.
I was so Dragon Balled out. I didn't care about any other cartoon. But
Mm-hmm.
when Choice told me that like you should play Static, I was like, okay, well let's do that. Like I was familiar with the character
Mm-hmm.
and I liked the character. I just never really just got into the cartoon like that. So I started watching. I'm like, yo, this is dope. I really missed out on a lot of this. And so but yeah, it was funny that you said you thought it was a TV show. Like that was when we did the film. I had it in my mind like I don't want this to look like a fan film. I want people to compare it, to the other DC shows because while we were shooting it and working on it, the Black Lightning pilot hadn't even been announced yet, so we had no idea that show was coming. So we definitely wanted to be the first, and then we would get a few people that would compare it. They would be like, "Yo, I thought yours was a show." Some people would say it was better, or whatever. It was subjective, but that was pretty much the goal. We wanted to be able to see what we could do with no money, no resources, and see how it, compares to the actual production. Me personally, I wanted to do a Static show. You know what I
mean? Right.
But Choice went the right route with Black Lightning because that's, he was the first on that side, and I feel like that character had been shoved under the rug. You know what I mean? So I felt like that was a great call, and he's very deserving of his own superhero. I mean, he's a superhero in my life. You know what I mean? Like that he's the truth, and I felt honored to be able to play Static. To put on that costume and everything. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yo, I did want to ask you, and I know this is probably kind of a weird question, but that scene where you fly in, were you actually on a board flying in? Like, how did y'all do that? Like, I was like I know. I mean, obviously, I know that there was a lot of special effects going on in that, but that scene where you bust through that window and fly, I'm like, yo, how did you guys do that? Like, I was blown away.
Once we're done here, I'll actually send you a breakdown because I actually did a breakdown on that.
Okay.
Like just a slideshow. That's a VFX shot. So we shot that scene twice, actually. So the fight in the warehouse, that took a period of 3 days. We shot that over 3 days. On the last day is when we shot that fight scene between me and Holocaust and with Gangbuster. And the very last shot of that day is we took a clean plate of the window. We had the window up there, and we just, took the camera, had the camera pan, zoom in, zoom out, or pan in, whatever. And then we went to a green screen studio and actually got me just just standing on the green screen and just moving around, like I'm flying.
Right.
And, but the problem was we didn't have anything to we didn't have like a fan. We didn't have anything to blow my hair back or my coat to make it look like I was flying.
Right.
So that whole shot was just kind of pretty much ruined. Like we couldn't use it. So we eventually went back to another green screen, and actually we got some leaf blowers to blow my hair, to blow my coat. And then now it looks like I'm actually, flying through the air. And so basically what I did, I placed myself. I keyed out the green, placed myself on top of the clean plate where the window is, and there's an After Effects plugin called Shatter, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And so I used the shatter effect on the window, and then I took a bunch of other VFX assets and just layered it. Broken glass, broken wood, dust, whatever. I put electricity on there. Like what I learned from VFX is the more stuff you have on there, the better it looks, because it hides any mistakes. It hides whatever it makes your eye just see everything as it is, and you won't be able to like nitpick every little thing. So I just layered it up with the effects, and and then when the window breaks, you know, I had a little background ready to place there, like a city backdrop. That shot itself, like, if I had to guess, I would say that would have probably been on an actual normal big standard Hollywood budget, probably a $50,000 shot.
My God. And y'all,
I mean,
wow.
that's a maybe. I don't know how much those budgets run for those big CGI films, but I imagine it would definitely be in double-digit thousands.
My God. Wow. And you guys did that virtually with no money. I mean, when I talked to Choice, it was like, he said his budget was around 3,000 to 5,000. I was like, you did that with 3,000 to 5,000? Like, like that, like 3,000 is like my computer and my camera and my lights and my green screen. Right. That's it. Like, that's it. Like, what I'm in, like the studio I'm in now cost about that much money for your fan film. I'm like, what in the world? But you know, it's funny. I know I fanboyed out on this because like I told you, that's one of my favorite fan films on anytime, man, on YouTube. And and I wanted to ask you because I know you and also Choice do this professionally. And I recently saw a clip of you on First 48. And I didn't
First
even
48.
Yeah, like not
you mean the corner?
Yeah, the corner. Yeah. So I was just like, okay. At first I didn't know it was you, and then like Choice shared it, and he tagged you, and I was like at first I thought like you were an actual drug dealer, like because I thought that stuff was like filmed for real. So I was just like,
oh yeah.
And so, but when he said, you obviously you got the part, and it was obviously a fake role. I wanted to know, how did you go about getting that particular audition, or just in auditions in general?
Well, that audition came from my manager. I'm rep by a manager and an agent. My manager sent me out for that audition, and I just went in and there was like 2 lines where you just basically tell them like, "Yo, give me my money," and that's what I ended up filming. And there was no callback. I booked it from there. So it was literally that simple.
Oh wow, that's amazing. So go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask like is that the normal process of how you go about getting auditions?
For me right now, yeah. I mean, so starting off, you get on your casting networks, like LA Casting, Actors Access, or those are like the 2 big ones. Now I've actually gotten some roles from Casting Frontier as well. And what you do is you go through the breakdowns and you self-submit. There may be a project that that feels like it's for you. You'll submit to that one, and you scroll down. There may be another one, submit to that. You pay like a monthly fee for it, and you just hope you get in on one of them. You upload your headshot. If you have some video footage, that always helps. That's how you start off, like just self-submitting yourself. And then eventually, when I got an agent and a manager, I got my manager first, then I got my agent. They would start submitting for you. And then whatever roles that you get, whatever money you're getting paid, you pay a percentage of that to them, because that's their fee, because they got you that part. And that's generally how it works, man. I mean, it doesn't, like, having an agent or a manager doesn't necessarily make it, like, you still have to put in the work. What I'm saying? They don't do all the work for you, but it does make it a lot easier. Because a lot of and they can get you certain roles that you don't actually see on those breakdowns. They get a different list than what you do. And pretty much that's how it goes, man. Just upload, just getting good headshots. That way, a casting director sees your headshot and they call you in for the audition. You go in, you do a good job, and hopefully you get a call back. When you get that call back, do a good job again. Really, you want to do the same thing that you did in the first one, unless they ask for something different. And then you may get booked off of that, or they may call you back for a producer session. I've the most auditions I've had to go through was 3. I had I had the first initial, I had the callback, and then I had the producer session, but I
Mhm.
still didn't get it. You
Oh
know,
wow.
and a lot of times that happens. Like you'll get
Mhm.
like I've heard of people going in for 7 to 10 times and
My
still not
God.
getting the part. Yeah, it can get like that. It gets weird. Like they have this thing where they pin you. And when they
Mhm.
pin you, that means okay, we're considering this guy for the role. Like we really want him. It's between like him and like maybe one or two others.
Mhm.
And at that point, it comes down to like the look. It comes down to well, he's a little bit lighter toned than him. He's a little bit darker than him. He's
Mhm.
just a little bit bigger. You know, then it comes to stuff like that, or it could be something totally unrelated. It could be the other guy's the casting director's cousin. Who knows? You know, it
Oh
could be
wow.
something. It could be something like that. So that's generally how the audition process works. And um, you just go in. You just do a good job. Don't go
Mhm.
in nervous. Shake that off. Go in and just murder it. Go in there to entertain. you know.
Yo, that's actually encouraging for me because I was planning on at some point like during the summer to do those particular casting calls, but I never knew how to go about it. I mean, I knew about Actors Access and different
Yeah.
websites, and I knew what to stay away from. Like some of my homies hit me up and was like, "Yo, you should do Casting 360." I'm like, "Nah, like I'm not sure about that." Anytime a agency is casting or promoting themselves through Instagram, I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't know, but it's funny. You just released like this like 1 or 2 minute scene of you and some females shooting at each other.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, I don't know what this is, but I really want to see it. So can you tell me and my audience, like, is this a film we should be looking for, or what's going on with that?
Okay, so that's very simple. So the girl in the video, her name is Camille McLucas. She's
Hmm.
a fellow actor friend of mine. We both come out of Choices acting class.
Hmm.
We both studied there. She's from St. Louis. She's a phenomenal actress. I mean, she's bomb. Like
Hmm.
as an actress, she's dope. That scene actually is from her action reel that she had me direct. So
Oh
yeah.
man.
So we were I'm still working on it. There's a fight scene that comes afterwards,
Hmm.
but right there, that was the shootout sequence. So basically
Hmm.
what happened with that is, she hit me up and was like, "Hey bro, like I need some action type of stuff. Can you help me out?" So we
Hmm.
met at the park a few times. We did worked on some fight choreography, and then
Hmm.
Chase Baker, who I mentioned before, he was
Hmm.
there to help out with the camera. He's a really good DP.
Hmm.
And my friend John Price, who actually was in Black Lightning as well, he was
Hmm.
one of the minions that got beat up,
Hmm.
and he came and helped out. And we just literally went to this parking lot close to downtown LA and
Hmm.
just made sure nobody saw us. It's guerrilla style shooting out there. Like you got to pay
Right.
for everything. So we just crept on in there and then just started shooting. And
Hmm.
yeah, so that's pretty much for her action reel. I was thinking about turning it into a film, but I'm not really sure how it's gonna work out. I kind of want
Hmm.
to have a lot more prep time for stuff like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's all that was. I just wanted to make her look good, make us both look good.
Right. I mean, it was amazing, and I was like, and at the time, like, this was probably like maybe a few weeks after I had did the interview with Choice. I texted Choice and I was like, "Yo, I know James doesn't know me, but I need to get his phone number because I want to see the rest of this. Like, I have to get the rest of this." And
I've
he
been holding back, man.
exactly. I was like, what? Like, I was just blown away. And also, you just released, actually, I think about a week ago, of you doing a fight choreography scene with someone else, and I was just like
I
it takes
posted
place.
something on my story.
Right, right,
Yeah,
right. And
and
it's like,
and actually that entire video is further down my Instagram. Yeah,
uh-huh.
I shot that. That was my guy Chris J Robinson.
Hmm.
We have really good fight chemistry.
Hmm.
Like whenever you're doing stunts or fight choreo, you want to be partnered up with someone who has who has good chemistry, you know, about your build, about your level of speed, and you know, there's just certain chemistry that you got to have. And we did that fight scene. I want to say 2 years ago, and we just, you know, we just met up in the park and just decided to shoot it. And while I'm on that subject, so how we met and how we actually started doing that choreography. I have a friend named Warren Shepherd, and he's a film director, and he has this movie out called Fight to the Finish. It's I believe it's in Walmart or Target. It's a straight to a direct to DVD video. Great film, great director, great friend. I mean, he's a film buff. Like, he's, in my opinion, he's like a black Tarantino. Warren's like a black Tarantino. He has there's a love for cinema that he has. Choice is the same way too, though. But I mean, but with Warren, he was working on a trailer. He was cutting together a trailer, and he had me come on board and do a fight scene with Chris, and that's how we met. So we had a little piece of that choreography, and we decided to turn it into like a full-fledged fight. And so that's where that video surfaced, and we got a lot of love for that. And I want to eventually use that same choreography for something bigger, you know. I'm writing my short film right now. It's gonna be like a little action film with a lot of fighting and a lot of intense drama type stuff. And I'll have Chris in there for that. I'm gonna see if I can get Camille in for that. There's a lot of people that I want, you know, for that project, but it's just, man, time and money, dude.
yeah, I understand. Like, I know for a fact when I did my my recent short film, Static, my recent Static film, that was actually the first time I actually spent money on that film. Like, because my previous films, it was just I did them all on my phone, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna do something big. I'm gonna save the money. I bought the MacBook, the DSLR, the lights, green screen, all of that, and I was like, yo, like, and I never really appreciated. And you know, Choi said something really, really profound. He said that, you know, you can do all of this in the little city that you are. You don't have to go to LA to do what you're doing. You have to create the opportunity for yourself. And I've noticed, like, creatives like you and Choice and everyone else, you guys have a habit of creating these opportunities for yourself. So I just wanted to know, like, how is that work ethic? Because, like, almost every day, I see you guys always creating or posting something about the acting workshop, which I hope one day I get to see. You know, it's just like, how do you guys?
I'd love to have you there.
Yeah, I would love to be there to just to see everything and meet you guys. Like, because like you know, it's funny. I've been following you guys since right when y'all released the first part of Black Lightning, and I remember you posted.
I'm just now getting, man. I feel so late, man.
Exactly. And you know, it's so funny. Like, you posted a picture of you sitting down talking to Choice, like looking at him, and the young Justice version of Static. I was like, yeah, image, like it blew me away. And you know, I wanted to ask you, because you also teased something. You were like, I remember you made one post. This was about a year or so ago. You said that
I feel so bad. I haven't even recognized you.
I know, right? It's cool. You know, it's funny. Like, I was telling some of my friends this who do the same thing as I do. I was like, you know, I never made the effort to reach out, and I was like, this year I'm gonna make more of an effort to reach out, especially people who I just been following for so long. And I noticed on your Instagram, this is about a year or so ago, you teased that you could potentially be making your own Static fan film. So right here, when can we see that fan film in production?
Oh, man, when I get a budget, bro. When I get a budget, listen, I will do, like, especially for a fan film. I had two fan film ideas, but none of them were Static. Because with Static, he flies on a saucer. It's so much VFX involved. And me, I'm like, right now I'm in a place in my mind where I don't want to do that. Like, I can't, like, I don't have like I'll do something simple. Like the
Mm-hmm.
thing with me and old girl, we shooting at each other and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Little gunshots, little action stuff like that. I could deal with that. But to do like crazy superhero stuff, like that's
Mm-hmm.
like nah, I need a budget. Like
Mm-hmm.
because Black Lightning really put me in a dark place at one point. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was very like it was just draining my soul, man. Just working on that thing 12
Mm-hmm.
hours a day, 15 hours a day for a
Mm-hmm.
fan film that you cannot sell and that people probably aren't going to watch. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like
right, right.
there's the odds are stacked against you, but
Mm-hmm.
as far as a static film, I would love to do that,
Mm-hmm.
but the thing is so many people are doing that nowadays.
Right,
There's so
right.
many different static films, and then I have a friend who just did his name is David Kirkman
Yeah, he's
out of
been
St.
killing
Louis.
it.
Yeah, he's killing it right now. He just did his static, and I actually chatted with him for a little bit, and he was
Mm-hmm.
actually following our Black Lightning project as well. And I
Mm-hmm.
guess it kind of gave him a little bit of inspiration. But
Mm-hmm.
he's doing his thing right now. But for me, I want to make stuff that I can sell. Like
Right.
that's kind of where my mind is right now because after you do your passion projects, you do what you love. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you get used to it. You learn the camera. You learn cinematography. You learn everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now make your money. You know
Right,
what I'm saying? So now
right,
it's time to make your money. And with
right,
fan films, you can't do that because it's not your property. I mean, you can
right.
probably rack up views on YouTube, but that can only get you so far.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I had two fan film ideas. One was Mortal Kombat.
Oh
I'm a
man.
huge Mortal Kombat fan.
Oh man, you would be a dope
One was
Raiden.
Mortal Kombat. Oh no, I wouldn't play Raiden. Oh no, I would play Cyrax.
Oh man, that would even be better. That would
Yeah,
be amazing.
because he's the one black dude with dreads. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
oh,
So
right,
he's the
right,
first one.
right.
But I had like I had a fan film idea for that. And also one for Tekken because one of my martial arts styles is capoeira. I did want
Mm-hmm.
to do like a Eddie Gordo film,
Mm-hmm.
which I think would be dope. Just like maybe 5 minutes or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. One or two locations.
Mm-hmm.
Barely have to put any money into it. Just call up favors and do it. But right now I got a film that I'm working on called The Armor of God, and it's
Mm-hmm.
an action it's an action assassin type of film,
Mm-hmm.
a short film. It'll probably be like 10 to 15 minutes, but that's something that I actually want to make into a feature.
Mm-hmm.
But I would definitely need the funding for. But back to the original question about when you was bringing up static.
Mm-hmm.
When we did Black Lightning, you have so you have the regular Static Shock, then you have the Young Justice Static Shock. So I wanted to
Right.
put both of them kind of together, so people
Mm-hmm.
when they see the blue shirt and the hat, they'll be like, oh, that's the Young Justice version. Then when they see the uniform, like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's from the TV series. And so I thought about doing a static film, but I wanted to keep it like really like kind of not as crazy as Black Lightning because I was just so burnt out on that level of work.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where I stand on that,
Right.
with the VFX and everything. But
Mm-hmm.
man, give me a budget, I'll do it.
Yo, and if you ever decide to do it, trust me, I'm there to watch it, man. And you and everyone else that you guys work with, you guys are super talented. One day, I hope I can reach that point because what you guys have done, like just seeing all of you guys' content, like I'm like, yo, like it's inspiring for creatives like me because I write like I'm writing 3 films right now, and I'm not sure if I want to make them features, like an actual 90-minute feature or just a short
Yeah.
film. It's just, when you're in the writing process, you just going, you're flowing.
Yeah, you just go. That actually that actually reminds me, man, we were writing Black Lightning. So we started writing it in December of 2015.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote the first 2 drafts, and then Choice went over and made the third draft. He used what I had, and that's kind of how we did that.
Mm-hmm.
So for the very first draft, so the school scene where Jefferson's talking to Virgil in the classroom, I wrote that scene out to be like 20 minutes.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So Choice, he calls me up. He's like, "Hey, yo, James." I'm like, "What's good?" He's like, "Yo, what's up, man?" So you do know that that scene right there, that should be only like 3 to 5 minutes.
Right.
I'm like, remember, this is a short film. This ain't a feature. I was like, damn, you're right. So when I was writing it, I was just getting like just so many ideas, and just I wanted to put everything in there. It was gonna be this intense drama scene. I'm probably gonna cry. It was crazy. And then Choice had to remind me, like, yo, this is a short, man. Like, what you doing?
Right. So
I understand where you're coming from, man. When you get those ideas in your head, man, and you just wanna go deeper and deeper and deeper. And there's a scripture in the Bible that says the spirit is willing but the flesh is weak.
Yes.
And
preach, my brother.
You have all these ideas. The spirit is willing, but my wallet is weak.
Exactly.
So, like, coming from me, like I said, before I came out here, I thought all of this was unreachable. I didn't think it was like something that I could attain. And come to find out, it's something that I feel like I was born to do this. You know what I mean?
Right.
And what Choice always tells me is you have to have insight. And he said, like, that's one thing that you would do. Like, when it came to the VFX, if I did something, I would give it to you, and you would, do whatever, and it would just stand out or whatever. And that's something that I learned from Choice. When I listen to him talk, like when he's talking in class or when he's, we just on the phone, brother has a lot of insight. Like, he's been through life. You know what I mean? And and I mean, I pay attention to everything, to how the shot looks. Okay, if you angle the camera just this, look how much of a difference that is. Okay, turn that light. Just little bitty minute things. It makes a difference. And then when you apply it to like your daily life, it makes you so much more connected, to the art. And like you said, man, you could do what you're doing over there, man. Like, yo, like if I was in the South somewhere and like they would charge you here to shoot at a location. Somewhere else, they probably pay you to shoot there.
Right.
If you got like you said, you got your DSLR, you got your lights, man. Like, yo, you already got a lot that people don't have. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, man. Whatever you got doing, man, just do it. And yo, one thing I learned. Excuse my language, but fuck what people say.
Right.
Fuck.
Right.
Do you like? There's so many like people that, and they won't say like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. They won't say that. They'll say it by not supporting you. They'll say it by not hitting that like or whatever. It's stuff like that. Like, but yo, don't let that discourage you, man. Just keep going, because like the more you do it, like how Tarantino said, he said, if you love cinema, you will make a good film if you love it. And when you love something, you love every aspect of it. You know, it's like a relationship. You don't go to bed angry. You know what I mean?
Right.
Make sure that it's like that. So I would, if I could just inspire you by saying, man, like, just continue to do what you're doing and just grow and learn and be a sponge. Like the whole Black Lightning process, I was a sponge. Like, I was just on set watching everything, even though I'm producing on it, but I'm watching Choice. I'm on other film sets or TV show sets, and I'm sitting next to Video Village. I'm asking questions. I'm learning. When people have some time to spare, I would just be like, hey, what does this do here? Or what is this gadget for? Oh, that's to pull the focus for the camera. So when the actor walks, like stuff like that. I would just be a sponge, man, and learn that way,
Yeah. And it's funny that you say that, because Choice initially was telling me the same thing. Like, he everything that you just said, he just told me like all of this, and he's like, YouTube University is the best way to learn how to make a film.
Yes.
And yes. I'm like, yo, like just us having this conversation, and it's funny, like, this is the first time I'm meeting you, but it's like we've known each other for so long, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, yo, like, and I told Choice, I said at some point, because I am planning on going to LA. Like, I have to link up with y'all because it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, what you guys are doing, man, it's just so amazing. But I had, two more questions I wanted to ask you.
Go ahead.
The next question I wanted to ask you was, when you guys, I mean, I know that you had said that you had did the Photoshop. You originally started doing Photoshop and stuff, and I've noticed on your Instagram, like you stated earlier, you love Dragon Ball Z. There's a photo of you of Goku and the back behind you, and I'm like, did you do that?
Right there?
Yeah. I'm like, did you make? Because I love Dragon Ball Z. Vegeta is actually my favorite character, and I wanted to ask you, like, when you did the movie posters and the different stuff, like, was that just something that came naturally, or did you just learn that in school or something?
Okay. Let me just start off by saying that Goku picture right there is compliments of my girlfriend Jaleesa Harris. She got that for my 30th birthday.
Whoa, you're 30 years old?
Yeah, I'm 30. I'm old man.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that, man.
Oh yeah. I actually started doing this. I started this page called Dragon Ball Black, and it's basically it's just reimagining certain characters as Black people, but I was doing them in a realistic kind of way. And so she took one of my pictures of me. I did myself as Goku, and then she took it to some artist and made him all animated out and sent it to me. So yeah, that's up there on my wall. When I get a big office space, it'll be up there. But
oh wow.
As far as Photoshop goes, so when I was a junior in high school, I took an electronic media class, and they taught us Photoshop. Then they taught us Photoshop and Illustrator, which I hated Illustrator. I didn't like it. I still don't like it to this day.
Yeah, I hate it too.
Right after high school, because I graduated in 07. In 08, I was doing logos for little small businesses and like little vinyls and stuff like that. And then right, I'd say in 09, 2010-ish, I started, getting an interest in doing character concepts. I really didn't know. I was just in college. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I had an interest in doing concept design. If you look at like the special features on like Blu-rays and stuff, they'll show you like the character concepts or what the character could have looked like. That's what I originally wanted to do. So I would be on Photoshop just doing stuff like that. And, I would like sketch it out and then scan it in and then work on the computer. But then when I moved out to LA and then I started kind of getting a feel for the different arts out here, I thought, movie posters was actually an idea. And for Choice's second feature, Keep the Faith, which I mentioned before, I actually did the second movie poster for that film. And that was my legit first movie poster. And so, and that's kind of what made him, want to commission me to do the visual effects and stuff, because I have something of that feel. And now I'll do photo edits. I'll take pictures of people, crop them out, put this crazy background behind it. My friend Austin, who plays Holocaust, he just posted a photo of him. He has like a ninja outfit with like his sword up, and he's like, and there's like fire all in the background. It's crazy. And I learned in high school, and after that, I just kind of just played around. My mom would actually buy me these books. There was these Photoshop books that were on sale at Barnes & Noble back then. And she would give me those books and I would study them and look at them. And nowadays, if I have any questions, I just go on YouTube,
Right. I mean, it's a saving grace of literally every person doing. And it's funny, I'm able to do a lot of free, not necessarily free things, but I use, right now I use Final Cut Pro, and then I use iMovie, and I use Premiere Pro. And I didn't know as a student I could get like Photoshop and Premiere Pro for free. See, I didn't know that
for free.
Yeah,
I'm kind of jealous of y'all. I gotta pay for that shit.
Yeah, I didn't know. And now since I've graduated, I gotta pay for it now. But at the time, I keep, you try to sign back in your student ID and try to leverage it, but that only works so many times.
You know how many fake emails I had to make up just to to redo the trial so I can keep working.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like
yeah, it's crazy like how we can try to game the system, but ultimately, if you really want it, you have to pay for it. And you know, it's funny, like the art that you put out, like it's actually really cool, especially the movie poster that you did for the Black Lightning film. When you're on the board and choices.
Oh yeah.
I was like, yo, like this is amazing. By the way, in that poster, this is kind of like a side question, but in that poster where it's raining, is that real water?
No, that's all fake.
I was about to say, like, yo, that's some dedication if that's some real water.
That was all, yeah. Anytime you see like water or blood or dirt or like any type of grunge texture, like that's all digital. Like I got tons of assets. You know, so what I do is over the course of working Black Lightning and Keep the Faith before that, I've gotten a library of visual effects assets. So Black Lightning Tobias' Revenge was sponsored by I think it's Aperture and Action VFX. And Action VFX, they're a popular site. They have muzzle flashes, water droplets, snow explosions, aerial explosions, fire, all kinds of fire. They have tons of stuff. I mean, like the whole, I don't know how much it is, but you can get like the entire package for like somewhere between $5 to $10,000. But I got like I got a lot of their assets, and so I use those assets when I'm doing these photo edits. You know, I'll just freeze the frame and then just use that particular part for whatever photo it is I'm doing. If it's a movie poster, if it's, you know, even if it's an album cover for a music artist or something like that, you know, yeah, I use what I got.
Oh yeah, you know, yeah. As an director / actor post production, I use everything that I have. Like literally, like I try to build stuff so that way I don't have to pay for it if I don't have it. Like
right.
You know, like it's funny in Final Cut Pro, you can build an effect, and I was like, it took me a while, but I finally knew how to do it. I was like, okay, I'd rather spend the time than do it than spend money that I don't have. And you know, now in these next upcoming films that I do, that I hopefully do, I want to spend at least about $5 to $10,000 saved up to actually produce a film. But you know, I have actually I said I had one. I said I had two questions. Actually, I have two more. But there's one.
Fine.
But I have one more question for you. Well, I have two more. But the next question I was going to have, you spoke on Keep the Faith. When I interviewed Choice, he said that he wasn't sure how he was going to release the film, or you know, is he going to put it online or do the normal, like, you know, film studio stuff. So I was just wondering, when's the last time have you guys like worked on that project? Because last time I talked to him, he said it was like 90% done.
Yeah. Well, that's the ugly side of editing, man. It could be 90% done, but that last 10% can take a long time to finish.
Right.
Choice is still working on it. There's actually a few VFX that needs to be done on the film to make it finished, to get it finished. I'm eventually gonna start helping him on finishing it. It's just I got a lot of stuff that I gotta, you know, finish up on. I actually got another project now that I'm working on, and that'll probably be my last VFX project. Because man, I'm telling you, I'm not sure what exactly he's gonna do with it once we're done. But whatever he's doing I'm there with him on it, you know. So, yeah, hopefully it'll be done soon and we can put it out.
Yo, when you guys put it out, I can't wait to watch it. But you know, my last question I wanted to ask you is that personally, like I was telling you before, I've done 2 Static Shock films, and they're literally just fan films, and because I grew up watching the character, and I personally looked up to Static because I didn't have any black superheroes to look up to at that time. I mean, I love Dragon Ball Z as well. And to a degree, I've always said if Piccolo were a human, he'd be black.
Oh, Piccolo was the black dude of the bunch. Yeah, that's hands down.
Exactly. I mean, Piccolo was a G. Like, he stood up to everybody. And
Oh
even
yeah.
though he was the weakest one, he
Well, he
stood up
wasn't
to
the
everyone.
weakest one, but he wasn't a Saiyan, but he was like, yo, Piccolo had some squabbles, man.
Right.
He would get down.
Right, right. Well, yeah, I take that back. He was definitely not the weakest one, but he was one of those ones where, like, yo, he would stand up to Goku. I'm like, dude, you know you're gonna lose, right?
Yeah.
Like, So for me, and I just recently thought about this, maybe about literally like a few days ago. So I thought about like my version of Static
Hmm.
and your version of Static colliding together in one world,
Oh
and,
yeah.
and we had to fight like this threat. And I was
I've actually
wondering,
thought of something like that.
okay, see, great
Well,
minds think alike.
I still haven't seen. I still gotta check your film out, but there's but with David Kirkman Static, I thought about like his, and then a friend of mine that I met in New York, he did a Static film. I thought about all the bars like kind of colliding, into the Spider-Verse, like that's
Yeah,
type of
yeah,
thing.
yes, yeah. See, you're on the same path, like great minds think alike. So
Great
what I
minds
was
think alike.
what
Yeah.
I was thinking, like we should do, like if I could pull off the funding for this, like seriously, like I was telling my wife this. I was like, yo, like I'm saving money to do like the next upcoming films. And at one point when I do go to LA, like what I wanted to do is that we could do that collaboration. And like I want to spend about like my goal was like 12, maybe 15 grand, somewhere in there. I was wondering, like, would you ever be interested in doing a collaboration of like Statics versus, like, I don't know, Ebond or somebody of that nature?
That that would be crazy. Yo, man, you get that money and you get it ready to go, I'm down.
Yo, and I know that's a stretch. I'm just saying, like, I would love to see it. Or if even if I don't do it, if I'm not a part of it, would that be something that you would do with any other version of Static?
As long as I ain't got to do VFX, man.
Yeah, yeah. Because it's funny that you said that, because I was like, I'm constantly right now learning how to do VFX, and
Yeah,
I know certain people who know how to do it as well. And I was like, you know what? I'd rather pay you guys to do that.
yeah.
You know,
That's where I'm at. Like
right.
I'm to the point where I would rather hire a team of people to do
Mhm,
it, and
mhm,
that I can count on. Because
mhm,
that's anytime you're dealing with someone who flies on a saucer, man, that's a ton of work to be done. And then because the thing that I learned, the thing that I learned about on Black Lightning is once you take care of one shot,
mhm,
you have to keep the continuity going. So if the
mhm,
next shot is a reverse, you got to do the
mhm.
same thing over, and that's another 15 hours of work. So
Right.
like, yeah, man, you get that dough, you get the budget together, I'm down.
Yeah.
I still got my outfit.
Oh, it's funny. Choice told me that you basically built that outfit from the ground up, and I wanted to know
Yeah.
that jacket that you have. Where did you get that from? Because I've been trying to find that. Like, yo, like I really want that jacket. Like the jackets look really dope.
So that jacket. Have you ever heard of the video game Watch Dogs?
Yes, on my PlayStation 4, man. Yo,
That's
by
the
the way,
jacket.
you gotta send me your gamer tags, man.
Oh, I don't be playing online, but that
Okay,
jacket it comes from that video game.
really?
That's the jacket that he wears. It's
Oh, wow.
so I got it from this website called leathercult.com, and
Okay.
they have it to where you can customize your clothes. And so
Mhm,
it was originally like a light brown color.
mhm,
So I
mhm,
switched it to like a really, really dark blue with
mhm,
black accents on it,
mhm,
and to kind of resemble the Static outfit. And
mhm.
yeah, that's where the jacket comes from. And then I
Let-
bought like motorcycle boots, the
mhm,
motorcycle vest.
mhm,
Um, got this lady to stitch the electric lightning bolt on there.
mhm.
Got my pins, my goggles. Well, the goggles and the mask, that kind of just, I was never happy with that. I had an original one, but it got messed up, so I couldn't use it. So I had to figure out how to make something out of nothing. And
Mhm,
me and Choice went to a store and got some fabric and stuff. So
mhm.
yeah, the mask I would definitely have to redo.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think it flowed just from watching it, watching the film, because I was like, yo, that wherever you got that jacket from is on point. And I was like,
Oh
I was
yeah.
on Amazon. I was like, yo, I can't find this jacket like at all. But I'm glad you told me now that I know where I could get it. But the last question I did want to ask you was is that how often do you and Choice work together? Because it seems like for the longest time I thought you guys were brothers. Like literally, I really thought you guys were brothers.
I mean, blood wouldn't make us closer, man. I mean, that's my dude. Like me and Choice, there's he's someone who I would trust with my life.
Mm-hmm.
When you just think of what that means, like that's someone who I would trust with my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I met him as an acting coach, but then he kind of became my personal Jesus, man. Like, he's coach, mentor, friend, partner, like producing partner.
Mm-hmm.
He teaches me sword fighting.
Mm-hmm.
He's my photographer. Anytime I need some new shots done, he'll shoot me up. You know what I mean? Like that's my dude, man. Really solid Christian brother. Like I love him to death, man.
Yo, man, and it's funny. Like since I've met him and talked to him, like I consider him like my older brother. Like, and I told him that I was like, yo, like, and I know I don't know him from Adam, but I was just like, there's something about you that just drew me to you. And it was actually when I did the top 10 Black directors, and
I saw that.
Yeah, and and I did it for like Ryan Coogler and Spike Lee, and I tagged them just like I tagged Choice. I promise you, I did not expect Choice to comment or even like it, and then he commented, and the comment that he said was, just utterly surprised, and it brought him to tears, and I was just like, yo, like I didn't know, like I did not know I could. I didn't know I did that, and it was just, I was like, right then and there, I was like, yo, like, we have to link up. Like, because like, and I told Choice, I said, since college, I've been following what you've done. And then the new people that you introduced, like, it was kind of like, I kind of watched you progress. And then, it's funny, like you mentioned your girlfriend earlier. Like I started following her on Instagram as well. Like, I was like, yo, like she's super dope. And like the last photo she posted, I think she was I guess dressed as Pam Grier.
She did this film.
Yeah, I was like, yo, like, man, I was like, yo, I have to meet these amazing people, man. Like you guys are just killing it in LA. And I'm like, I'm all the way here in Orlando, and I'm like, yo, like, I feel like I don't belong here. Like, I feel like I need to just. Well, I can't say I don't feel like I don't belong here, but I just feel like
I know what you mean, though.
Right.
I know exactly what you mean.
And
it's like there's a group of people out there that like we're connected. I gotta be there. I gotta get that energy.
Exactly.
That's kind of how it was for me before I got here. I was living in Stockton, California at the time, and I actually came down and did an audit with Choice for his class, and it was before I moved here, and I fell in love with it. Like I just like, yo, I was going through this depressing mode because I wasn't there. What I mean? So I would just work, stack my money, save up, and then I finally made it here. But like that's exactly how I feel, man. Like just the people that I'm around, like with around Choice. It's something that I think it's something that he does, man. He picks the right people. Or if people don't have a particular something about him, he'll instill it in them. Like that's just who he is, man. He's a godsend, man. And I appreciate him for that.
Yeah, man. And I appreciate you coming on the show, man. I do appreciate it, man. And I appreciate Choice for being a part of the show and just basically introduced me to like you guys, because like I don't know y'all from Adam, but just like listen to y'all talk and act and then like me getting the chance to do an interview with James, I was like, I never thought I could do this. Like honestly, like when I sent you the first email, I was like, I don't know if he's gonna respond, but if he does, I'm like, yo, like
that went like so far down my email list. I totally forgot, bro. I've been so like just consumed with so much work. I've been so overwhelmed. It gets like that, man. But you got that power, man. Like that's for sure, man. You'd be surprised what you can do.
Right, right, man. And you know, when's the next time we'll see like an official like short film or project from you?
From me, I got one that's in post right now that I'm actually working on.
Hmm.
Me and Choice is working on a script for a feature film that he'll be directing,
Hmm.
and we're that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm doing some of the artwork for that film.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know if I have permission to say what it is or anything, but so you can ask him.
Right,
but
right, right.
um, it's gonna be a oh I can't wait till we get started on it. It's gonna be an amazing piece.
Hmm.
It's a horror film. I can say that much. It's a horror film.
I think I know what you're talking about because he said, and I would like to point this out on the show again. He said on camera that he's going to probably do this film in Augusta, and if he does,
Yes,
he's going
yes,
he's going to text me and say, "Hey, you got to come home. I want you to be part of this film." So
yes,
the day he does that, I will be there with
yes.
you guys.
So
Okay.
that's number one, and when that I can't wait to get started on that. And then I got my own short film that I'm writing that I wanna have it finished by the end of the year for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And that for sure will be something that'll be coming out. As far as anything else, I have one short film that's coming out,
Mm-hmm.
and I got I got a project that I'm gonna be on, but we haven't started shooting yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure what's gonna happen. Like a lot of these things, you just don't know what's gonna happen until it happens.
Right.
But for right now, that's pretty much all I got going on. I'm pretty much just in pre-production mode right now.
Right. Right.
As well as auditioning. I had 2 auditions today. Both
Mm-hmm.
went great, and just auditioning and writing, man,
Yeah.
and doing photos.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
know, I had an amazing time doing this interview, man, and I'm
it
so
was
glad.
excellent.
Yeah, man, I'm so glad that you came on the show. James, where can everybody find you on social media who wants to just follow what you're doing?
So I'm on Instagram as James_M_Black. I also have a photography page. It's Moten MOTEN_photography. And
Mhm.
also you can find me on Facebook under James M Black as well. Same thing on IMDb.com. I'm on IMDb. You can see some of my credits. Although it's not up to date, I still gotta bring it up to date. I'm on IMDb.
Mhm.
And yeah, come follow me on social media and hey, I'll follow you back.
Yo, thank you so much again for coming on the show.
Dude, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, anytime, anytime, bro. And now we're definitely gonna do this again. Probably gonna do
Yeah.
another interview or something. Like I'm definitely gonna have you back on the show again. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in for watching this amazing interview. Please like, comment, and subscribe to all of my multiple social medias and all my content. Thank you guys for watching this video, and you guys have a blessed day. Thank you guys for watching this video. Go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube page to get more exclusive content coming from my YouTube channel. And if you want to watch my previous videos, go ahead and click on this video up here or this video down here where you get to see more exclusive content coming from my channel. Thank you guys for watching this video, and you guys have a blessed day.